welcome to Carolina Varsity's 2013 look at the 3A NCHSAA playoffs. I'm Dale Ross.
No, I'm the pet man, Matt Morrow.
Matt, this next game we'll take a look at is number 10 Piedmont, 8-4, going up to play Concord. Not too much of a big trip. Number 2 Concord at 12-0. Last week Piedmont defeated Tuscola 31-17. I think we might have called that ball game last week when we talked about it. You know, we felt like Piedmont would have a good shot at winning that ball game, and they did.
Finally got one right.
Exactly. And Concord beat in-county rival Northwest Cabarrus 29-0. So, you know, my thoughts on this ball game, Piedmont's got that big quarterback, and I can't think of his name right now. Help me out.
Tripp.
Huh?
Cam Tripp. So,
I think that kid's going to have a big ball game to keep Piedmont in the game.
Yep.
Of course, Concord's got that great rushing running back, Reed. Of course, Piedmont will have to be able to score, I think, to hang, but they're going to have to find ways to stop Reed. I think that's going to be the whole thing: is can they stop or slow him down and keep Concord in a manageable range. This is probably a typical 2-10, or really Concord could have been a number 1 seed.
They should have been.
They should have been,
yeah.
But it's another one of those things that we got our gripes about how these seedings are done. But this is definitely a number 1 type seed team that Piedmont's going over to play. So they're going to have to play their best ball game, and their defense is going to have to play their best run defense, I think, to be able to keep their team in. And their offense is, I've said many times, your best defense can be an offense. And I think in this game, this is one of those where Piedmont's offense needs to be able to get first downs and keep Concord off the field.
Right, this is an old South Piedmont Conference matchup here, so the schools are familiar with each other.
Yeah, very.
The unfortunate thing is, in that history, Piedmont is usually the loser.
Yeah, not that come out, except for about 10 years ago, I think, 10, 12 years ago.
Right.
Yep.
So if you're Coach Massey, you don't want to reflect on that history too long. But the other thing about Coach Massey is he knows Concord, being the former coach at A.O. Brown.
Exactly.
So he can prepare his team and get them ready for the type of environment they're going to face, which will be a huge crowd up there at Bailey Stadium. And Coach Paget, he's been around a long time and he knows Coach Massey. So these guys know each other very well. So expect to see some wrinkles put in this week that you haven't seen all season long. Coach Paget does a really good job of that in particular. I think the key for Piedmont, like you said, slowing the Concord run game, I think that's their number 1 most important thing they've got to do. Get Concord in some 3rd and long situations, force them to beat you with the pass.
Yep.
Now, Concord can throw the ball too. They just don't have to.
Right. Not with that running back. No.
But they have the ability also. I think Piedmont, like you said, with their option game, Tripp can run the option pretty well. He's 6'6" and he can throw the ball. But, I've heard from some reports that he missed some open receivers even last week in their victory over Tuscola. So if he gets the chance this week, you got to be able to hit on those opportunities you get, because you're not going to get that many against Concord.
Right.
But I think they got to hit some big pass plays, especially early, to try to open up their option game. I think for Concord, even though they run the ball so well, I think you got to throw it early on too. You got to expect Piedmont to be in an 8-man box.
Right.
I think you loosen up early on, get Reed maybe some screen passes, and maybe a shot off play action on 2nd down, 1st down, something like that. Tripp, like I just mentioned, he's missed some open receivers in the past. I think you got to get pressure on him and get him rattled. When we talk about blitzing, it's not only for the pass. I think you can run blitz this Piedmont team too. They're going to be in a situation they haven't been in before, and especially early on, you want to test their mettle, see if they're ready to go. Maybe you force a turnover in that option game or something along those lines. But I think I like Concord here at home. They came up short last year when they made the championship game. It's obvious they're on a mission this year. And I like them to move on here. I don't usually make predictions this early, but I think Piedmont's had a really good season. Their quarterback will be back next year. They got some good young talent on that team, and if they lose here, it's not a shame to lose to probably one of the best 3A teams in the state, if not the best.
Right. Yeah, I was at that state championship game last year, and I know that as a program, they have to feel that they left something unfinished from last year.
They let it halftime.
Yeah, no, that was a ball game that they really could have and should have won, I thought, but second half just did not go their way, and things actually started kind of breaking down in the second quarter. But I know that they feel like they really left something unfinished, and that was their championship to lose last year, and they lost it. So this year, they're on a mission, obviously. So anyone gets in their way is gonna have a big tall order to get by them. So
Piedmont don't get caught in that spider web, man.
Don't get caught in that.
I don't know if they still put it on the field. That thing is huge.
Or the yellow lights. Gosh, the lighting in that stadium is horrible, unless it's changed in the last year or two. But enjoy it. It is an old kind of an old feeling stadium, an old high school feeling stadium. Hopefully there's no rain, because that's another thing that field's not good for is moisture. But anyway, you guys enjoy the game.
That's right, on time. It's tricky. It's tricky. It's tricky to rock around. That's right, on time. It's tricky. I met this little girlie. Her hair was kinda curly. Went to her house and bust her out. I had to